Now, chances are if you're showing up at a club or anything, you won't have to do this. It should already be set up. But if you're practicing at home and you have a set of CDJs or somebody does something incorrectly, it's good to know what to do. So to wire up the CDJs, you're going to need a couple of things. You're going to need 3 of these power cables. These are called IEC cables, 1 for each of the players. Then you're going to need at least 1 audio cable per deck. So in this case, we're going to be using RCA cables. This is analog audio. We'll go 1 into here and 1 from this CDJ into the mixer as well. Now, in an ideal world, what we would be doing is using digital cables, digital coaxial to use SPDIF, but because this mixer only accepts analog inputs, we're going to be using these RCA cables instead. Even at most higher end clubs where you do have a mixer that supports digital ins and outs, I still often see them running analog, so that's what we're going to do today. And last but not least, what's really important is you need to have at least 1 Cat5 or Ethernet cable to link your players together so you can access your music on all of them. If you're using more than 2 players, then you'll actually need a network switch, and you can plug all of your Cat5 cables into the switch. That way you can access your music on all the players. We'll talk more about that. So first off, we're going to wire up the power. So I'm going to plug a power cable into each CDJ and the mixer. Like so. The next step is we are going to route our audio. Now remember, we are going to use this one in channel 2 and this one in channel 3 because we are using a 4-channel mixer. So let's go ahead and take our RCA cables. And you can remember with the left and right, R or right is the red RCA. So wiring this up, left to white, right to red. And we need to go into the line inputs. The phono inputs are for turntables. We're going into the line inputs here. Boom, there you go. And here you go as well. Line input in channel 3. And we're going to do the same for the other CDJ. So once again, red going to the right one, white going into the left output, and we're going to go into the line inputs on channel 2, red and white. Lastly, what we're going to do is we're going to take our Cat5 cable and we are going to link using the link port. Plug this into the RJ45 port on this player, and we're going to then move it, link it over here. Once again, you would be using a network switch. You could plug them all into the switch. That's all you need to do if you're running more than 2 players. And from there, we're ready to power everything on. So first, let's go ahead and turn on the CDJs first. The power button is here on the back. Boom, boom, and they're lighting up. And lastly, we will power on the mixer like so. Now, one more thing to be aware of, if you are wanting to connect this to your speakers directly, to connect, your DJM to a sound system or a band mixer, you need to use the main outs. Now, these DJM mixers and most other DJ mixers you'll see, they're going to have XLR outputs, which are the 3-pin ones, and another set of RCA outputs under here. It's better to use the XLR outputs because that outputs what's called a balanced signal, which has better rejection for noise for technical reasons. So what I'm going to do is take my XLR cables, which are the 3-pin cable, and run the female end into the left and right here in the master. So this will allow you to connect to an amplifier, a set of speakers, or in some places you'll see them using another band mixer so they can mix you in and mix any other sources they need as well. So we'll simply plug this in, and from there you can plug the male end of your cable into whatever it is you want to do to get your sound out of speakers. Like so.